From real estate tycoon with no political experience, Donald Trump surprised the world when he broke through obstruction to become the 45th President of the United States. As the richest President of the United States ever, Donald Trump has brought a new breeze in American politics. Many people used to doubt and fear that his different personality would make the situation in America and the whole world more confused. After 4 years as president, Mr. Trump has proven himself completely worthy. Welcome to Global Top Successful Channel. In today's video, we'll find out Donald Trump from the rebellious young master to the richest president of the United States. Stubborn boy loves to learn business from his father.
Donald John Trump was born on June 14, 1946, at Jamaica Hospital in the borough of Queens in New York City, the fourth child of Fred Trump, a Bronx-born real estate developer whose parents were German immigrants, and Mary Ann MacLeod Trump, an immigrant from Scotland. Trump grew up with older siblings Mary Ann, Fred Jr., and Elizabeth, and younger brother Robert in the Jamaica estates, and attended the private Kew Forest School from kindergarten through 7th grade. However, Donald had always proved to be a peculiar boy. In 2nd grade, I hit my music teacher. I don't think he knew anything about music and I almost got expelled, Trump said. He had always proved to be a rebellious boy. This personality almost followed him until much later. Worried about his son's apparent lack of discipline, his father transferred him to the New York Military Academy when he started 8th grade. Around this same time, Trump often accompanied his father as he performed new deals. His father's business had a huge impact on him. But in fact, it was his mother who instilled in him the ideas that made Trump not just a real estate agent, but had the special characteristics that made him the President of the United States later. In 1964, he enrolled at Fordham University. 2 years later, he transferred to the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania, graduating in May 1968 with a BS in economics.
Start career with the real estate market.
After graduating from university, Trump decided to choose the real estate industry to start a business. He began working full-time for his father's real estate company, Elizabeth Trump and Son, in 1968. In 1971, Donald Trump gradually took control of the company and changed its name to the Trump Corporation. After that, he moved to live in Manhattan and began to forge relationships with American financiers and participate in huge projects. Donald Trump immediately sought to develop larger projects and more luxurious projects than the middle-class condominiums his father had pursued all his life. At first, his father reluctantly accepted his son's way of doing things, but later he supported Trump. At the time, Donald Trump was only 30 years old and he soon gained a reputation as a risk-taker in business. In his business career, Donald Trump has used the business learned from his father. When the whole of New York City slid into bankruptcy in the early 70s, Trump has had favorable deals. His first deal of a lifetime was to rescue the Commodore Hotel in 1978. The building once went bankrupt and turned it into the Grand Hyatt. Around this time, Trump began to use his successes as a stepping stone into politics. He made his first splash with the renovation of Wollman Rink in Central Park. The renovation plan was launched in 1980. Trump began publicly criticizing the ineffectiveness of the government agencies responsible for the renovation. During a debate, he asked the authorities to allow him to complete the renovation on his own. After receiving approval, he completed the renovation in just 3 months, saving the city's budget and to the satisfaction of most of the population. Trump proved that he was right.
Keep calm in the face of difficulties.
By the 80s, Donald Trump had really become a real estate mogul when many large hotel and housing projects in Manhattan were focused on his corporation. Donald Trump's reputation became more famous than ever when in 1983, he inaugurated the magnificent Trump Tower in the most luxurious Manhattan of the United States. However, in the late 80s, the real estate market almost froze when offices, houses, and hotels could not be rented. By the early 90s, the U.S. economy slowed down, causing Trump's revenue to decrease. They started having trouble paying the bank interest. The Trump Corporation and its subsidiaries owe $9 billion. Trump's personal debt is $975 million. Although he sold many projects and a lot of luxury motels and yachts, he still couldn't pay the debt, eventually had to sell the new Trump Shuttle airline which he bought in 1989. Under a lot of pressure from banks and creditors, Trump still cleverly negotiated to keep a real estate that he was unfinished with a huge budget. That is the casino system in Atlantic City named Trump Taj Mahal. After that, Trump was right because the casino system brings huge profits.
Without vision, you won't be able to do anything.
In the book, Entrepreneurship 101 Inches by Michael Gordon, Donald Trump shared that business starts when you have a vision. Lack of vision, you can't do anything. Remember, obstacles are the door to success, and in the face of any difficulty, please don't back down. Trump never engages in trivial things but has to do something special. If he wanted to build an apartment building, it had to be the most luxurious, the biggest and the best building in the area. This was strongly demonstrated when he decided to launch the Trump World Tower Initiative at the United Nations Center. When Mr. Trump first discovered the property in 1997, it was a 2-story building on the street across from the United Nations in New York City. With big thinking, he decided to build an apartment tower using the space of the adjacent real estate. No real estate investor realizes this possibility, and that is the key for Mr. Trump to turn the ordinary real estate into one of the most luxurious apartment towers in the world.
Donald Trump's current assets.
In 1982, Trump made the initial Forbes list of wealthy people for holding a share of his family's estimated $200 million net worth, equivalent to $562 million in 2021. His losses in the 1980s dropped him from the list between 1990 and 1995. Trump's tax returns from 1985 to 1994 show net losses totaling $1.17 billion. The losses in 1990 and 1991, more than $250 million each year, were more than double those of the nearest losers. In 1995, his reported losses were $915.7 million. Forbes estimated his net worth at $4.5 billion in 2015 and $2.4 billion in 2021, making him the wealthiest president in American history. As of March 2023, Donald Trump is worth $3.2 billion United States dollars according to Forbes Billionaires list. Trump climbs a few steps up Forbes Billionaires list ladder, placing 869 in the world as of March 2023, up from his 1012 ranking in June 2022.
Donald Trump's other activities.
In 1988, Trump purchased the Eastern Airlines shuttle, with 21 planes and landing rights in New York City, Boston, and Washington, D.C. He financed the purchase with $380 million from 22 banks, rebranded the operation the Trump Shuttle, and operated it until 1992. Trump failed to earn a profit with the airline and sold it to U.S. Air. In 2004, Trump co-founded Trump University, a company that sold real estate training courses priced from $1,500 to $35,000. After New York state authorities notified the company that its use of the word university violated state law, as it was not an academic institution, its name was changed to Trump Entrepreneur Initiative in 2010. Using ghostwriters, Trump has produced up to 19 books on business, financial, or political topics under his name. His first book, The Art of the Deal, 1987, was a New York Times bestseller. While Trump was credited as co-author, the entire book was written by Tony Schwartz. According to The New Yorker, the book expanded Trump's renown far beyond New York City, making him an emblem of the successful tycoon. Trump has called the volume his second favorite book, after the Bible. From 2004 to 2015, Trump was co-producer and host of reality shows The Apprentice and The Celebrity Apprentice. On The Apprentice, Trump played the role of a chief executive, and contestants competed for a year of employment at the Trump Organization. On both shows, Trump eliminated contestants with the catchphrase, "You're fired." Trump registered a new company in February 2021. Trump Media and Technology Group, TMTG, was formed for providing social networking services to customers in the United States. In February 2022, TMTG launched Truth Social, a Twitter-like social media platform.
Trump and his wives.
In 1977, Trump married Czech model Ivana Zelníková. The wedding of both was so grand and splendid that it became a major social event in New York. They had 3 children: Donald Jr., Ivanka, and Eric. The couple divorced in 1990, following Trump's affair with actress Marla Maples. Trump's second wife is Maples. In her youth, Ms. Maples possessed outstanding beauty with a beautiful face. It was the charm of Maples that made Trump give up his first wife Ivana to follow her. However, their marriage lasted only 6 years. The third wife is also the current wife of Mr. Trump, Melania, the First Lady of the United States. In 2005, Trump married Slovenian model Melania Naus. She is a famous model of Slovak and is considered a smart, sagacious woman. They have one son, Baron.
Becoming 45th President of the United States, 2017 to 2021.
Donald Trump has twice raced for President of the United States. The first time in 2000 and the second time in 2015. Trump announced his candidacy in June 2015. His campaign was initially not taken seriously by political analysts, but he quickly rose to the top of opinion polls. He became the candidate in March 2016 and was declared the presumptive Republican nominee in May. Hillary Clinton led Trump in national polling averages throughout the campaign, but in early July her lead narrowed. Trump finally won and became the 45th President of the United States. He became the first U.S. president with no prior military or government service. During Mr. Trump's presidency, the U.S. economy has made great strides as gross domestic product, GDP, increased by more than 3%. The unemployment rate fell to a 50-year low, at just 3.9%. The U.S. stock market rose 27%. However, President Trump has also received many criticisms for his policy of dialogue in an effort to make America great again. In addition to the many controversial moves, Trump supporters say he has delivered on many of the promises he made during his campaign. Trump lost the 2020 presidential election to Joe Biden but refused to concede defeat, falsely claiming widespread electoral fraud and attempting to overturn the results by pressuring government officials, mounting scores of unsuccessful legal challenges, and obstructing the presidential transition. At the end of his term, Trump went to live at his Mar-a-Lago club. As provided for by the former President's Act, he established an office there to handle his post-presidential activities.
Thank you for watching the video. If you find it interesting, remember to support the channel by liking, commenting and sharing. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to see the next interesting videos.